What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another GEST. This is GST September. My God. Can you actually believe that it's been 9 months in the first GEST? Anyway, my co-caster with me is once again Luminous, and if you want to catch out any more GEST matches, check out LD's channel. He was the main caster for this GEST since Gods was off in America doing American things. Also, I'm sure Screen Guard Guy and even Doc will put out a couple commentaries. Even Luminous will put out one, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
How old is Luminous, by the way?
Yes, indeed. Anyway, we'll get right into it as I'm at 40 seconds, 2 times speed. Let's go through these picks and bans very quickly. So, 3, 2, 1, unpause. So, this is iZone versus iDeal, and if you have never heard of these teams, well, then you probably haven't been following Dota 1 because these were actually the first in place positions of the last GEST August, and iZone, the Filipino team, did take it over iDeal, the Thailand team. And guess what? They found themselves in the same group, so we get to cast one of their matches as Beastmaster and Morphling going to be the first wins. Actually, let's speed it up.
Let's speed up to the 3x speed because,
yeah.
like most other viewers out there, I personally have no idea who iZone and iDeal is.
Keeping up to date. Gotta
Keeping
get
up to
you
date with
educated.
Dota 2 and not Dota 1 anymore, unfortunately. But I will be casting more Dota 1 epic games, I think, because those are more fun to cast.
Not
to say
you
this
gonna
one is
do
not fun to
Throwback
cast, but
Thursdays?
hey.
I was thinking about doing Throwback Thursdays.
Yeah, man, Throwback Thursdays. There you go.
Throwback Thursdays.
It's fun.
Anyway, Beastmaster. Well, we're gonna see a Furion, and Furion's a weird hero in the Southeast Asian scene because sometimes he's picked up, sometimes he's banned out. Now these days he's banned a lot more. But I guess in the May to June phase, he was not seeing many games at all, neither picked nor banned. But I guess they've been watching more Dota 2 because Furion's pretty annoying. But it's curious to know that in Dota 2, Furion has, I think, like a 45, 44, pretty below average win percentage.
Yeah, I mean, I find it very curious that you're picking it in a game like this where pushing is not really a big deal. Hero killing is a big deal. And to be honest, Prophet is not the best hero killing person. Like, he TP's in for a +1, but he's right-clicking, which is not the exact insane thing. He still give you a +1, but it's not, coming in with a big nuke. So, and he pushes instead of hero kills. I think I just said that. But anyways, I'm surprised that they're picking it so early as well. I thought, Rubik perhaps is going to get the first pick, but hey, that's a Prophet first pick, and because we're 3x speed, we're already advanced.
Yep, so bans, what more can you say? Like, pretty typical aside from the Shaman, and even the Lone Druid. Pinoys actually know how to play against the Lone Druid quite well because they just let him sit around quietly, farm up for a bit, and then bam, they gank you 5 times, and you can't really do anything
In a row.
Lone Druid because you have no mobility. And one thing that you could say about the Prophet is that he ganks very, very hard. But I think the Southeast Asians like to jungle him more than the standard Dota 2 scene. But anyway, I wanted to talk about Puck. Puck, of course, seen as an anti-Pinoy counter, but iZone is picking him up. So we'll see how he fares in this lap. And meanwhile, not really anything remarkable in this game thus far.
There's Sprout Shackle Shots.
There is
Shackle
indeed.
Shot's not good enough by itself. There's a Sprout to instantly, for sure, give you a 3.75 second stun. That's insane. But it's all good.
Well, if anybody didn't catch it on my channel, Luminous reviews the top 5, where I basically ranted about Windrunner for a decent amount of time.
Yes.
I am annoyed about it.
We actually ran it for about an hour. I had to edit out like 15 minutes of it because
Hey-o,
it's insane. Hey, there's a Shadow Fiend.
Actually, Shadow Fiend, I think LD posted, is seeing a lot more play in Southeast Asian scene.
Yes.
So I think it was on LD's Facebook. I did not honestly catch any of his casts, as we're going to pause at 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes of this.
10 minutes. Oh man,
I'm at 10.
Right on the spot. So we're at 10 minutes. As Shadow Fiend was seeing a lot more play in this Southeast Asian scene, and it's a little bit odd because he's not very mobile. He can carry quite hard, but he's not like so mobile that he can gank all over the map. And he's decent. He's pretty squishy, but I guess he can farm faster than most other heroes.
Yeah, I think if there's one draft that you want to have your Shadow Fiend in, it's probably this draft. Prophet is going to be somewhat difficult and somewhat annoying, but with Tango, she should be fine. If you look at the lack of stuns and lack of disables on the Gigabyte side, I mean, they have Shackle Shot, but it won't be good early on. Windrunner is not the best ganker early on as well. There's a Tide Gush and a Telekinesis, and if you have wards, you have a map awareness, you should be absolutely fine. And one of the easiest way to shut down Shadow Fiend is shut him down early through ganks, and this is not the lineup that could really effectively gank, so I think this is a very good time to have the Shadow Fiend. Let's see how he's going to do.
Yeah, and one thing I do have to point out is that both teams are actually Gigabyte. iZone is the side on Sentinel.
Okay,
Meanwhile,
iZone ideal.
Ideal.
I'm totally gonna forget. So sorry.
No problem, man. You aren't keeping up to date fully, but you still cast, which is good enough, in my honest opinion. But anyway, another reason why I think we're seeing more Xiaofeng is because we ain't seen no bat in the Southeast Asian scene. No picks,
And
no
in Dota 1
bans.
in general, Bat is just insane, right?
Yeah, he is ridiculous, and actually, well, I'm not gonna promise anything. Soon, as I put on my menacing face, but we're gonna unpause. I'm at exactly 10 minutes, so we're gonna unpause in 3, 2, 1, go. So we'll go over the players and the teams. So on the Sentinel, we have iZone, the Filipino squad, on the Sentinel, and we have AM playing the Xiaofeng. It looks like, oh man, SK is playing the Shadow Demon. Eco is going to be playing the Chaos Knight. 19 is going to be playing the HNAP version, and 10 is going to be playing the Puck.
Man, you sound like you don't know these players.
I
Watch
don't.
me go. Watch me
iZone
go.
is
All right,
one of the
TF
few
on the
teams.
anti-mage on the top lane here. Mid lane, Windrunner being handled by BZ. On the bot, there's Min playing the Thai Hunter. Back in the mid lane here, it's going to be Up on that movie playing the Rubik. And finally, in the jungle, we have NN on the Nature's Prophet. That's how you do it in terms of winging it and pretending you know the teams, even though I have no freaking clue what all of these
Well, you
players
had it
are.
easier. I'm sure you pulled down the score screen and read out the names.
Nah, man. You
Ow.
can't even see half the names in the score screen because
Well,
they're
you
like
can-
dark.
You can see it in the Ideal side, but the iZone side, the names are so long, they're taking up all of the characters that you have to look at the last 2 letters and just go, what the heck? But anyway, just talking a little bit about the matchups. Xiaofeng solo mid, so they're probably going to keep a roamer with them. And usually when they play Xiaofeng, they either like to have either an Earthshaker roam, most of the time it is an Earthshaker, or a Venomancer. But we don't actually see Venomancer too much in the Southeast Asian scene. But Earthshaker would be a good support in helping out the Xiaofeng in the first early levels when he has the most problems.
Whoa, look at this on the bot lane here. We seems to be having some sort of offensive dual lane, tri lane situation with the anti-mage. Now, anti-mage is not often seen in a situation like this, but don't forget that Mana Break is actually absolutely legit when it comes to giving him plus damage. If you look at his starting inventory, he has been pull tangles and salves, very common tactics, but what we don't quite see is a Quality Blade picked up. And let's see how it's going to fare here against a Puck. It's going to be absolutely difficult to get a kill. So I'm not sure what his lane's going to work out fine.
And I love this middle lane because actually, in the early parts, Tide Hunter does have the advantage because Anchor's
By far.
reducing physical damage and giving AoE, and also hurting down Xiaofeng's measly health pool by a decent amount. And considering Xiaofeng, with reduced damage and without too many souls, can't really do too much unless he gets some last hits going, but hopefully Tide Hunter can manage to get enough levels. And right now we see Xiaofeng is actually out-leveling a decent amount, but I mean, look at how hard the Xiaofeng's hitting Tide Hunter. He's being smacked around, and Tide Hunter feels nary a thing.
Yeah, Thai Hunter in the early levels before Shadow Fiend hits level 3 and he accrues more so really should actually go up forward and use his Anchor Smasher, get creeps, harass, and do the minus damage against Shadow Fiend. And the fact that he's not doing it right now, you can see Shadow Fiend is just last hitting. He's already got 63 damage, and I think you talked about it. Thai Hunter's got the advantage, but because he's really messing up, he's now forgoing the advantage he had, and now Shadow Fiend in full domination of this lane. But keep in mind that they do have the Sprout ganks, they do have the Gush, and that's probably one of the best way to get a kill on Shadow Fiend, because his HP pool is very, very lacking.
Yeah, and just to go back to the lanes for a bit, as we're sort of all over the place in this cast, much like this game will most likely be later on, is that Thailand teams, or the Thai teams
Top
in
lane?
general, on the top lane as nothing's happening. No, there's a big gank in the jungle. Shout even H-Chat version duking out against the Tide Hunter. All the while Xiaofeng is accruing souls like you mentioned, but Xiao Demon's going to barely escape, but Nature's Prophet is going to escape as well, so all that harassment, nothing comes of it. But meanwhile, Xiaofeng is going to help out his buddy H-Chat version. No, nothing happened, but I think Sentinel came out in favor in that regard, as Xiaofeng actually did not manage to last it too much in that meantime. He's been denying a decent amount, but he is level 3. Tide Hunter is level 3 as well, but Nevermore does have an experience advantage. But anyway,
Yeah, Nevermore is going to get his bottle soon, and once he has that bottle going, with the help of his friends, making sure he gets the runes, he is going to just dominate lane. Thai Hunter, by the way, almost out of mana, at least no more gushes, so Shadow Fiend doesn't have to be afraid of anything at this point. So I think that Shadow Fiend is claiming the mid lane. In terms of Puck on the bot lane, he's level 3. Consider the Anti-Mage is also level 3. I gotta say that Dire, or Skur, excuse me, is winning that lane. And we haven't really paid too much attention, at least I haven't, on the top. Who's actually doing well in that top lane?
well, Winner is doing surprisingly well because Ancient Apparition and Xiao Demon have roamed a bit, so Winner has managed to pick up almost level 4. And if she can get level 4, that'll be a huge boost because Windrunner does need some items at the very least, and some experience, and does want to have that max level Shackle Shot. And meanwhile, Shadow Demon, level 1, not really doing too much of anything, and Ancient Apparition can be an out-harass Windrunner, and Windrunner can just right-click it up, especially since Shadow Demon is not in position, so top lane has to be going in favor of Scourge as well.
Yeah, Scourge is in a very, very decent position. It really comes down to how much the Shadow Fiend's going to do and how little he's going to get ganked. Here we go. Tyonder comes in, one raise. Ooh, C-raise, going to cancel the bottle, and one more right hit. That's going to be a first blood. This is some old school Yaphet stuff coming in here. And to be honest, Tyonder is just really loading up this lane. Not only did he not win it, he also gave up a kill. Meanwhile, we had kills going out on the bot lane. As I'm not sure how Puck actually did there. Probably was trading hits against Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage fully okay at this point here, popping stuff.
You can see the Crow very, very sadly flying in the trees, marking the death of Puck. Tribute to his fallen comrade. You know, Windrunner is getting a lot of levels, like I mentioned earlier, level 4. So we're going to have to see how well the CK can farm, because Anti-Mage's getting a lot of farm. And Shadow Fiend is winning the lane, but Shadow Fiend can be ganked once the Nature's Prophet decides to venture out of the jungle. CK has 21 CS, so he's faring decently. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, Puck once again taking bunch harass and orbs out to nowhere, but he's going to be able to escape to the tower. He has a full bottle. He's going to be able to regain some of his mana.
Yeah, one of the things that Anti-Mage, like most other carry that's picked today in the Dota 2 scene, he's absolutely insane. If you leave him alone in the lane like this, you'd think a ranged hero will beat him, but not really. With Ring of Fell Regen, the fact that he could blink and break does so much damage and mana burn, you can say he is actually the harasser. He is the aggressor in lane. So right now, 1v1 situation, because the fact that Anti-Mage got the early kill, because he has that 4-man shield, he's controlling this lane, and Puck not having a good time at all. So you can see that now, very, very smart transition from Scourge. They're sending support to the top lane, who they're having a little bit of trouble. Look at that Windrunner being driven back so far away from the tower, but the question is, can they claim the tower? They do have the Ring of Bastace being turned on, but there's just not enough creeps around.
Windrunner's picked up a Soul Ring because she's managed to get enough farm, enough gold to pick that up, so she's going to be able to spam Power Shot and always have enough mana to Windrun away, unless Reality somehow gets getting rain. But mid lane, there is a gank. Nature's Prophet finally decides to venture out of the jungle, telekinesis, one more attack, and that's the problem with Shadow Fiend. He gets ganked so easily that he really needs to have something like an Earthshaker to break up the gank or something like that. Otherwise, he's going to have a lot of trouble in the laning phase.
Yeah, I think he could have actually lived through it. He was bit slow to the tango, and he ate the wrong tree, so he had to eat the second one, and throughout that time, he was Gush, he was Telekinesis. And I talked about that. This is the lineup to play a Shadow Fiend, because there's not too many stuns, but if you mess up like that, you are actually going to get picked off. Back on the bot lane here, Puck hitting level 5, Anti-Mage by himself will be hitting level 6 right about now. His farm through the roof, hitting about 30 CS in 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Not exactly too impressive, but considering that this is an off lane against a range hero, it's pretty good.
Well, he hasn't been last hitting every single creep. He's missed a couple, even with the clone.
This ain't burning.
This ain't burning, but he's been more aggressive at the very least in terms of driving out lane. But you can do that with an Anti-Mage against a Puck who does so little damage. I see a massive amount of chat log all over the place, but it eventually will clear up. Now on the top lane, it is secure for now, as Windrunner is level 5, as I'm not really liking what they're doing. They're just roaming their supports, and their supports are not really getting too much experience. They're not even ganking the Tidehunter. So I'm not really too sure about this play by the Sentinel side.
It's going to be hard to gank the Tidehunter. I imagine he has that 1 point into Kraken Shell. Maybe he doesn't, though. He's level 6 right now, got the mana for the Ravage. You really don't want to be ganking Tidehunter under tower, especially he's level 6. You never know when those TP's going to come in, and eventually, or very definitely, you could get just 2 people dying immediately. So perhaps not ganking is a better idea. But on the top lane, though, a lot of harass coming in against the Windrunner, trying to juke around. Hasterin almost running out on the Shadow Demon. Still fighting for the Windrunner. CK, he's just very, very afraid. Disruption cooling down just a bit. So Catch is going to miss, but Windrun gets popped. Here we go. She wants to turn around. Power Shot. That's barely going to miss as well. Shadow Demon comes in. He wants a little bit more. Does he have poison? That's the question. Ancient Apparition comes in right now as well. Line up, and the creeps are just doing the block. Self-disruption. The Kofi's going to find the Windrunner. Windrunner goes down. Meanwhile, though, Shadow Demon very low. One more right click. He's going to get the kill. Prophet. Does he have Sprout? Yes, he does. No Tango out because he has no more Tango left. Double kill here for the Nature's Prophet. I talked about TP. Oh, Wrath of Nature coming up on the top lane as well. And I think because of the way that he's casting it, not enough damage output against the Chaos Knight, he's going to run out just fine. I talked about Prophet not the best counter ganker because
mid lane, as looks like Shadow Demon's going to be in a lot of trouble as he's going to take a bunch of harassment and nothing's going to come of it. Per usual, but here comes Puck as Telekinesis is going to be casted and nothing comes of it. As go back to what you were saying.
Yeah, Prophet, I talked about he's coming in with physical attacks, but if you're against level 3 heroes which have no HP, single attack is just enough, and Prophet's showcasing that. And he's jungling, but he's hitting level 7. That's insane. He's higher level than most of the carries on the Radiant side. Yeah, in fact, he's the highest level in the game, aside from Shadow Fiend. So that's pretty good if you ask me.
Yeah, one of the problems with Nature's Pop is that he does not have enough mana to come out of the woods to gank. But this Nature's Pop has been doing a nice job. Got a gank off against Shadow Fiend, came in pretty late to support his winner, but came in nonetheless. And he just walked in, didn't need to teleport in. So he had enough mana to do all that. So this Nature's Pop is playing decently, and we'll see if he can manage to get enough items and farm to become a relevant factor in the mid game, because one of the problems as we saw in the International is that Nature's Pop does take quite a bit of time to get going, and teams exploited that. But this Nature's Puppet, considering no towers have been pushed onto his side just yet, and considering he has been pressured in general, should be a-okay. But here comes Asian Apparition, wants a piece of the action. I don't think he can do anything.
Yeah, no, he's got to back off. He's only level 4 at this point. If he had his ultimate, probably could have done something, but, you know, very, very far away from that. Also, the other thing that we haven't talked about too much is that Anti-Mage getting unmolested farm. Puck forced to go in the mid lane to help his team, and Anti-Mage right now, despite nobody in his lane, he's creep equilibriuming very well, not staying too far from his tower. On the top lane, the Raptor comes in right now. Power shot, that's going to be the kill. Puck comes in, and that's going to be the counter kill, but Wimmer will gladly take that one, considering the fact that she is soloing against a tri-lane and got the kill before she died. So the EXP and gold favoring her right now.
I got a feel for Chaos Knight. His Chaos bolts have all been 2 seconds long, and I think if he got maybe a 3 second to 4 second in there, he would have surely been able to survive some of these. As here comes a bit of pressure on the mid lane. You can see how difficult a time Shadow Fiend is having. He has had 55 souls, or 55 CS up against the Tidehunter, but he's not even able to touch the Tidehunter at this point. And Tidehunter with the regenerate should be fine in that regard. You know, the bottom lane looks like they're going to transition there, but Anti-Mage is going to try to take up the farm on the top lane in the meanwhile. So Scourge is going to switch up their lanes because Sentinel has decided to do that. But I don't know if this will make too much of a difference, as one thing Sentinel did have is that the tower was quite low on the top lane, but they weren't able to make anything come of that. And maybe that might be a problem. Maybe they weren't as aggressive as they should be in the push.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter what lane Anti-Mage is going to in. If he's going to start on the bot lane,
Ravage is used as Shackle Shot coming in with the Nature's Pop. Defensive Disruption being cast is going to buy Shadow Fiend a bit of time, but he is still trapped in the trees. Managed to get a kill on the Tidehunter. He's doing so much damage with raises, but still.
Oh, Tower nice gets blasted against the Windrunner. Shadow Fiend not only got his team 2 kills here. Ravage being used as well. That means Shadow Fiend and his team doesn't have to worry about too much in the next couple of seconds. 150 to be exact. That was a huge kill. Huge turnaround of events here. Wrath of Nature comes in, bringing Shadow Fiend low, but he will be bottle crowing, so no big deal. This is huge, and now this is going to give Shadow Fiend a lot of time to farm up his BKB or Blink Dagger, depending what he wants. On the bot lane, the Ring Basset still turned on Chaos Knight. Really want to work down this tower. Even Kofi being casted on a single creep. That's when you know they really are desperate. But Anti-Mage by himself, forcing pressure on the top lane as well. Here comes the rotation from Rubik. It's level 6, not too high on the mana. How will he defend? Can he defend? Telekinesis, there's a teleport in, there's a barrage back. Phantasm being stolen. 4 seconds. You talked about not having that. We'll have it right now. The Shackle Shot from the range creep to CK. Will that be enough? He's just so tanky at this point and so fast as well. With his Torp, he will gallop away. And that was a lot of TP doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I wonder which Horseman of the Apocalypse Chaos Knight is, as that was just really, really unlucky for the Scourges with a clutch defensive disruption to save the Shadow Fiend. I think they got fogged a little bit during the minutes because they were sprouting right next to the tower, and I think that might have helped the Pactor, but still, Shadow Demon showing up at the right place at the right time. And Scourge suddenly on the back foot a bit, they still are up in kills with Nature's Pop and providing push, and this Nature's Pop has really been all over the place thus far. He's really making an impact in this game. He's picked up a minus, as is so common in both Dota 1 and Dota 2, as he's going to accelerate his farm and his experience gain by an incredible amount. And this Nature's Pop might become a little bit of a problem, but meanwhile the top lane, Disruption being casted on the Shadow Demon just to get a little bit more damage, but he's only level 4. Those illusions tickle the tower at this point.
Yeah, but it probably will be enough with the next creep wave and the Puck blowing out the creeps very quickly. Who's going to last at the tower? That's going to be important. Meanwhile, Scourge pushing on the bot. There's a Chaos Knight trying to defend. That will be enough. Shadow Fiend has not left the mid lane here, and that's good. If you see him only being ganked a single time, or at least a successful gank a single time, as that Ravage gank was not too successful, that's your team is doing very, very well when Shadow Fiend is able to stay alive for so long.
Oh,
he's up to
Warcraft 3 surround on the bottom lane. As Chaos Knight was stuck in the trees, as that was not a noteworthy event, but I still found it quite hilarious.
This Chaos Knight should be somewhat careful. He's very low HP, but there is nobody nearby. Meanwhile, in the jungle here, Puck is fighting against... Ooh, he's gonna go in. Like, oh, Shackle Shot, not gonna latch here. The right click here from the Prophet, actually very, very respectable now. Considering that he does have to attack speed to work with Prophet. With the Midas, we'll get into a quick mech, I imagine. Although, mech in Southern East Asian scene seems to be like a forgotten item. So let's see if he's gonna go into one of the, older build, like a Dagon first or maybe a Hex first, right after the Midas. Or will he go for the more new school mech right after Midas?
Usually Ancient Apparition when he's played as sort of a hard support in conjunction with the Earthshaker, where we've seen him so commonly used as. And oftentimes we only see him get an urn, maybe a Force Staff, rarely a mech, because usually that honor is reserved for the Windrunner, something like that, when Windrunner decides to pick it up. But still, I think it might suit them better in this case to have Ancient Apparition picking up some more items, because he can do a bit more damage in team fights if he's left alone. Meanwhile, Shadow Demon has cooldowns that are quite long, so he can't really be too big of a factor once he casts all his spells. So I think it would behoove the Sentinel side to pick up a mechanism and at least the Ancient Apparition, give him a little bit of farm. I was about to check out the levels actually, as Ancient Apparition level 5, Shadow Demon level 5, meanwhile everybody on the level Scourge well above level 6. Nobody's below level 7 in fact, and that might be a problem. Even though Shadow Fiend is by far the highest level in the game at level 12, the supports being so underleveled might become an issue for the Sentinel in the later half of this game.
Ooh. Shadow Fiend picks up a Lothar's Edge, and let's see how he will be using it. Perhaps gonna go for ultimate kill against Anti-Mage? I don't really think he could do it, but he's gonna try at the very least. Here we go, Glyph. He's gonna ultimate right on top. Bam! It's only half HP because Spell Shield and Strength Crits. So that's kind of well, generally want to get at least one kill or win a big team fight with that element of surprise. Now it's completely gone, and you can see that Scourge will immediately, at least I hope, be grabbing Sentry Wards and Detection, because if you don't, well, that Shadow Fiend is still at this point level 12 with 1000 HP and a Lothar's Edge. Very, very easily gankable here. All they really need is a single telekinesis, and all the right click and the dust should be able to do the job. So Shadow Fiend still gotta be very careful.
Yeah, as laggy much is the call by the Sentinel side. But still, it's a bit different. You can sort of understand, well, you can't really understand Lothar's Edge, but there's going to be a gang on the cast side. Shackle Shot. Oh, Reality Rift cast in the nick of time. Going to be able to dodge Shackle Shot. Can he escape a couple more attacks? Oh, Reality Rift being used by the Rubik, going to bring him right back to the Nature's Prophet. And BZ managed to get the last hit with the Windrunner. Pretty unfortunate for the Chaos Knight.
Mid lane here, Anti-Mage being very aggressive against the Shadow Demon. If he gets one more swipe, one or two more swipe, the Mono Void is going to do it. 1, 2, Mono Void? No, he's still waiting for it. There you go, couple more hits. There's a Mono Void, still one more hit. He's not going to go for it. Wow. He was just one hit away. Nice juke here by the Shadow Demon. Or not, Shadow Demon forcing the ultimate and surviving it. Good use of the Magic Wand. I think that's what saved him.
Well, I mean, Anti-Mage had near full HP, so I don't really know why he didn't decide to spend. Maybe he felt like, alright, if I blink once more, then I only have 2 blinks to escape. But
maybe he was afraid of the Chaos Knight. It's 4 seconds stun under the tower. Perhaps could be a little bit dangerous, but yeah, I'm not sure. He chased long enough. He even used the ultimate. Just gotta go boss to the wall, man.
It's true, Anti-Mage is still 300 gold away from finishing the Battle Fury. Not really burning-esque, but there's been a lot more action in this game than we see in most Chinese games. Although, I do have to say, DK is more aggressive than most Chinese teams. Anyways!
Are we talking about Chinese?
I was talking about DK being more
Why were we talking about Chinese?
Because I'm saying this guy ain't burning.
I see. Sure, I agree.
But anyway, Shadow Fiend going for the Lothar's Edge. At least with Lothar's Edge and DK, you could survive some dust ganks because DK is so tanky. With Shadow Fiend, you really have to just come out on the basis of your move speed and the fact that your teammates can teleport in to help you out. But otherwise, Lothar's Edge, like you mentioned, is not really too good of an item if you do not get that first initial hit of surprise. And that's why I like to see Lothar's Edge, when it is used, to be opened up in a team fight. But it is a standard Shadow Fiend build, at least in the Southeast Asian scene.
Yep. Meanwhile, a little bit of item check here. Battlefield not being completed on the Anti-Mage, which is a little bit surprising as well as a little disappointing, considering that he had mostly free farm until the fact that he decided to switch lanes and gank around. Meanwhile, we do have a Oblivion Staff on the Nature's Prophet, so he is going to be going for Orchid build. Orchid Rush is something very, very forgotten, but in a game like this, where you have so many good Orchid targets, Chaos Knight not bad. In fact, everybody aside from the Shadow Fiend is a great Orchid target. And at the end of the day, Orchid is just a nice kind of DPS item, considering that gives you a lot of damage, attack speed, as well as a kind of a burst damage coming from the, whatever you call that.
The soul burst?
Damage.
Soul burn,
yeah, soul burst damage. Yeah, it's a pretty decent item, and it's no as good as Hex Rush, but hey, it's faster. It comes out a little bit more effective. Should you be able to finish it quick, and with the Midas and the fact that Nature's Prophet is using Wrath of Nature, he is going to have it very, very soon.
Remember those games you cast with the Vietnamese Nature's Prophet, I think like a year ago? Refresher Aghanim's, that was so cool. It would be so awesome if we saw refresh. And Xiaofi's coming in to try to kill Anti-Age once again. He says first time doesn't work, maybe the second time, and wow! As
Did
the
he blink into the
souls,
ult?
the souls stacked. The souls
Yeah.
stacked. That was wow.
For anybody that does not have any idea what the hell we're gasping about, Shadow Fiend's ultimate travels out in a big AoE, you know, inwards to outwards. And if you took the inwards damage and you blink outwards, the souls catch up to you, you'll take that damage a second time. So, really, Anti-Mage has got some surprise butt sex.
Well, I mean, where could Anti-Mage have gone? I guess because the souls radiate out in a circle. So I'm not really too sure.
So you blink upwards in the air.
In the air. Some Batrider stuff right there. Just bypass terrain altogether.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I'll be sure to let him know.
Maybe you could have said that maybe he could wait for the Requiem and then he blink out, but you know, honestly, when you're getting owned like that, you're not gonna wait. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage is gonna get disrupted. He's gonna blink out just fine. I really like the fact that they are actually just harassing the Anti-Mage. Normally at this point in game with blink, you are actually you're not killing him. I was very surprised to see that Shadow Fiend did get the kill with the double damage of the rune in mid lane. Gonna mow down a couple of creep waves and gonna try to work on the tower, but tower is protecting himself.
Chaos Spell goes on to the Anti-Mage. Chaos Knight doing significant damage, but it looks like that was all a trap, a setup, as Ice Blast being casted, but everybody's staying so far back on the Sentinel. Ravage manages to catch one here, which is the Chaos Knight. They're going to be at least be able to kill that, as Anti-Mage is getting cold feet shattered, and he's going to be able to blink out. He's going to get stunned, but Chaos Knight is the first one to fall on the Sentinel side. Ravage has been used, and it looks like Ancient Apparition with a couple of right clicks managed to kill the Anti-Mage. Wrath Nature's coming in, as meanwhile Xiaofi manages to pick off a mid tower, as looks like the Scourge are slowly but steadily starting to take advantage of this team fight, and this stage is probably doing huge damage. Without the Chaos Knight, since he was most of their damage source, and since he was the initial target, without him, the Sentinel couldn't really do too much after that.
Yeah, that team fight 3-1 in favor of Scourge, but I really think silver lining, the Sentinel shouldn't care too much about it, considering that Shadow Fiend was not in the fight. He was free farming. He got a tier 2 mid. Anti-Mage was the carry that died, so Sentinel should be very, very happy about that. And lastly, they used a Ravage just for that team fight. So with all that kind of stuff said, I even want to say Radiant or Sentinel maybe even had the favor. BKB now finished, and here we go. Shadow Fiend.
I wouldn't go that far, as I think Scourge had an advantage, but he's going to go right-click on Rubik. Telekinesis is going to send Shadow Fiend back, but Shadow Fiend has a haste through. He's going to dive. No, he's just going to hit some creeps.
Yeah, I'm very surprised he came out of right-click, at least in the position that he was in. If you're going to right-click as your Shadow Fiend, you go behind the target. At least get a little bit of extra leeway room, but...
Shackle shot,
nice Shackle here, and now Shadow Fiend is going to pop his BKB in time. No, he would not. Whole bunch of burst damage being dropped. Unfortunately, Anti-Mage didn't get the kill, but hey, he was involved in it. With that Battle Fury being finished anytime soon, he's got to have it right about now. He has a lot of catch-up work to do. Normally, fast Battle Fury is about 14-15 minutes in. This is 20, he still doesn't have it.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate, as Winrunner smartly picked up a gem. But something that is important to note, as unlike in Dota 2, I think BKB does not have a sound effect in Dota 2, but we heard the sound effect just now. Shadow Fiend did use his first BKB charge.
That's kind of very, very unfortunate.
That is unfortunate, as he used it. I could just barely hear the sound go off. As meanwhile, Shadow Demon might be in a little bit of trouble. Has bracers and an observer ward. Can he smoke himself out of trouble? He's being pincered on all sides. He's just going to drop a ward and be okay. Can they pick off the Nature's Power? Shadow Fiend trying to roam in. Does not have too many souls to work with. He's going to try to get some of those back. But right now, just a lot of defensive posturing, as only 18 kills in 21 minutes. I'm a little bit disappointed.
Oh, here it comes. Windrunner. He's popping the Windrunner, looking for the Shackle, not going to find it. Nice quick load throws out here from the Shadow Fiend. The Orchid is finished here on the Prophet, so he becomes a very, very powerful ganker. Immediate D-ward with the gem. This gem is doing so much lag in all cap here. Meanwhile, on the bot lane here, these guys are not lagging, working on the tower very, very quickly. I like the fact that CK, both teams here, are actually pushing a lot more than a lot of Southern East Asian game. Back in the middle here, teleport here for the Pug. Pug's very low, but the right click from the Shadow Fiend, Jesus, popping out of this, or popping out of Lodar, just doing the big damage. Meanwhile, Shackle shot on the Chaos Knight on the bot. He's really, really tanky at this point, but here's a Soul Bird, the right click damage, Ancient Apparition, Ice Blast flies, and that's gonna hit about everybody. Will he actually go down? Phantasm dodging a hit. He's gonna go for the kills. 3 seconds stun. Oh, it's not gonna be off. Yes, the Shadow will get the kill. Nicely done so far here. And now Thailand, they're walking forwards not caring about. There's a Gush, Anchor Smash soon to follow. Where is the Shackle Shot? He's looking for the angle, looking for the angle, looking for the angle. No angle just yet. There's a Shackle Shot just for the mini stun. Right click's gonna do the job, and now Chase goes the other way. Another Kofi being dropped on Tai. He's gonna be fine.
Reinforcements.
Shadowfiend gets one kill. He's looking for a little bit more disruption. He's gonna walk in for the ultimate. Yes, he will. Bam! That's an ultimate. Very, very low is a tide. Couple more right clicks. He had the loader on cooldown. Has a lot of mana left. Oh, Shadowfiend is tanking tower under with Gush influence. He should be fine as a mech up. Wow, that was a huge cluster of a team fight. I gotta say though, probably Sentinel came out ahead as Anti-Mage died and Shadowfiend getting a lot more kills.
Yeah, this Anti-Mage has not really been a factor, and I think a lot of it comes down to his play, but also the counter pick of Puck really working wonders. Puck held the Anti-Mage in close with the tower for 3 seconds, and then silenced him for another 3 seconds, and Puck is just really a solid pickup up against an Anti-Mage. I'm surprised we don't see that a bit more in Dota 2, as Puck is going to be launched all Mana Void. Maybe that's why, as Puck can't really do too much against Anti-Mage's right clicks without reinforcements and without being next to a tower. But all the while, Sentinel still behind in kills, and they're still behind in experience, but they are catching up to Shadowfiend. Level 17, the next highest level is a TIE Hunter, level 14. So this Shadowfiend, I think Sentinel are going to have to end it soon though. Just because Shadowfiend, he's going to get a bit stronger, but not as strong as the Anti-Mage. But here comes a bit of a gank as Shadowfiend gets defensively disrupted once again, but he will die. Ravage being used as well, catching only one other hero as... Did it catch anybody else? It didn't catch anybody else.
Yeah, but they got 3 kills out of that, so I guess it's pretty good. And a tier 1 tower, now they're going to rotate back for Roshan. I'm really fairly impressed with how this game's going, both teams being very aggressive. We're seeing how Lothar's Edge is also a very decent alternative, aside from Blink Dagger or BKB on Shadowfiend. What Lothar's Edge gives you that a BKB or Blink does not give you is the ability to go very, very offensive and farm like that, and even look for a kill. If anybody's unsuspecting to a Shadowfiend, ult is going to give that to you. A Blink Dagger cannot give that to you, especially when they have a stun. And right now, you can see that Shadowfiend is doing so much, despite he just died right there. But here comes Scourge roaring back. If they get the Aegis on the Anti-Mage, he can actually aggressively go for the Manta style straight, whereas normally he probably need to pick up a Vit booster first, or maybe even need to go for BKB. We'll just have to wait and see what his item build is, but now with the Aegis, he could be a lot more aggressive with his item purchases.
Yeah, and he's going to need to, as Shadowfiend is still getting more powerful, but I still think Sentinel are in a bit of a clock, as all their supports are so desperately behind in experience that it's going to take a while for them to catch up. You know, Chaos Knight has not been too big a factor. Well, he's 0-4-2. He's gotten some stuns. But Chaos Knight, as we see,
he's got the Aegis up on top.
How did that happen? As
I don't know.
Anti-Mage just died.
Uh-oh, look at Chaos Knight looking for a Reality Rift right now. 4-second stun, but the immediate TP, the TIE comes in right now. That's a 5-man gangbang, but will it be defensively disrupted? Yes, it will. And now Shadow Demon, he has a haste, but will not be enough. Chaos Knight comes out invisible, will immediately get Mana Void. Where's the rest of team? Where's critically the Shadowfiend? Shadowfiend just farming on the bot lane, and now the gang turns around, trying to TP out. Will he make it? Will he make it? Yes, barely. Meanwhile, Puck just also blinked out as well. So they kind of win, well, crisis management is decent. Puck picks up a Dagon. But really, they need to start fighting with the Shadowfiend. Shadowfiend mostly has been farming the entire game up to 186 creep kill. Manta Style is going to be his next item. But really, with the Manta finish, he needs to actually participate in these two fights because these teams cannot really hold on without him.
Man, this is the problem with Chaos Knight in Southeast Asian games. They just put so much emphasis on him, and he initiates. He takes all the damage, and then all that farm goes away because he is a melee hero at heart. Well, he is a melee hero in general. But still, they put so much farm, he initiates, he dies, and then without that farm, without all his damage they can output, his team loses so much, especially when they don't have their other carry with them. And I think that might be the main problem why Chaos Knight has not been seeing too much success in either Dota 1 or in Dota 2, just because he put so much farm on him. But still, when he initiates, he is going to die. And I think you might need to pair up Chaos Knight with another initiator, but they do have the Puck at the very least. But the problem is Chaos Knight is just venturing forward very boldly, as he's still dying in the middle of all this.
Yeah, at best, I mean, he took down the Aegis, which is not insignificant against the Anti-Mage, but, you know, and then getting caught out, getting a little bit greedy, wanted a little bit more afterwards. That was probably the mistake there. But yeah, I completely agree with you. I think Chaos Knight perhaps somewhat overrated, especially in the Southern East Asian scene. He does a lot of work. He's a great ganker, but he, in team fights, especially, you know, scaling towards the 45 minutes in game, BKB gets popped on the mid lane. That is the 8-second BKB just used to run away, which is, to be fair, you know, very, very important, but you know, that's, again, a very, very costly expenditure. But here comes Winrun, still looking for more. Lothar's on cooldown. BKB's on cooldown. Luckily, they're not going for that.
Oh, Chaos Knight?
But they're going to go for the Chaos Knight. They see the Chaos Knight looking for the angle of the Shackle shot. Still looking, still looking. There's going to be the Shackle. Yep. There's a 3-4 second stun. Anti-Mage gonna come right in. He's gonna get the kill right here as well. Killing spree on Anti-Mage, and this game is just back and forth. I really don't know who's actually in the lead at this point.
Oh, it's gotta be Sentinel, because Xiaofeng has not been able to do much of anything. He's been using his BKB charges very defensively. Right? Or yeah, Scourge are, I think, a big amount ahead, as Nature's Prophet is going to get more and more farm. He's picked up a Necro Book, as well as he's going to be able to burst down that Shadow Demon. Meanwhile, H9 Version is his next one to fall. Sentinel's starting to get cleaned up, and all the while, Xiaofeng needs to farm up souls because he's been dying, and this is the problem with Xiaofeng, because he does need to farm up souls. So, I'm not really too sure what Sentinel can do at this point. They just need to really try to take a team fight, rather than just sort of scattering themselves all around the map. Because if they can live out the Rouge, they could win the team fight. And if KSI can actually live, they might be able to win a team fight as well. But he's starting to get underfarmed, and this is going to become trouble.
Yeah, I generally agree with you. Scourge is overall very, very far ahead in terms of how their items is distributed, how their EXP and gold is distributed. Right now, everything is focused on the Shadow Fiend. Now, with that said, when you have so much focus on the Shadow Fiend, he could just pop a no and just get like 3 or 4 killed, if not weakened very, very considerably. And it's going to be easy pickings for the Chaos Knight and the Puck, should they are on the chase. So it's still is unclear in terms of who is going to win the team fight. But if this game goes longer and longer and in the same pace that is going on right now, because Scourge a lot better in ganking, you see that Nature's Prophet now is picking up. The Windrunner is doing a lot more ganks than I usually see her to do. And to be honest, the Rubik's doing a lot of work as well, considering that Rubik, without any kind of mobility-based item like Force Staff, Blink, or Face Boots, he's been in the center of a lot of ganks, surviving it and getting a lot of EXP as a support. So the Scourge ganking their way back in the game, and Sentinel, they gotta do something. I don't know what the something is, but perhaps the not picking off is part of the equation to go for a victory.
I think Sentinel, they might be waiting to farm up that Manta style and the BKB up on the KSI. KSI has a Sage, as I think he was trying to build it to Sage and Yasha to get a bet in his ganking, but now I think Sentinel is starting to realize they need team fights, as of course it could be used for Evelyn and Talward, but Manta style just says lull to that. But KSI gonna go for the Ogre Axe, because it is an axe in this game, and we're gonna call it an Ogre Axe. But he's gonna try to go for that BKB, and once they get that, I think they have a solid window for a team fight, because considering KSI Xiaofeng has not popped his BKB offensively in any scenarios as far by a Shackle Shot. Gonna latch KSI to a tree once again, as no, it was to the Puck, as Rouge comes in. KSI tries to split, but KSI is once again gonna be the first one to fall. And looks like Sentinel, they're just going to try to run themselves back, but Gem just says lull to that, as will Xiaofeng die? No, he manages to teleport out in the nick of time, as Xiao Demon is going to die in his place, and Sentinel are just starting to crumble.
Wow, poor team fight here on the Shadow Fiend. That's the 3rd time in a row that BKB was used to escape. He saw the time to TP and did not pop the BKB. How different would it be if he popped the BKB and ulted right there? Would have meant that the Time Hunter was going to be dead, and of course a lot of AoE damage being done to the other guys, and perhaps giving them a lot better chance. Meanwhile on the bot here, backstab here again coming from the Nature's Prophet, and there's the Orchid, just 3 hits. Of course, level 10 or level 11, level 9 Ancient Apparition not going to do anything, and you can see him transitioning straight into a push. Yeah, the Sentinel guys, iZone, iDeal, I don't know who they are, but not playing too well, at least not in this stage of the game, and they are being punished very, very heavily.
Yeah, iZone, they were the defending champions of the last GEST, as Puck is going to try to come in against a Dangerous Pop, but he's going to get right-clicked as well. He has a Ghost Scepter at the very least, so he's going to go for that triple Scepter build. Maybe he'll go for Aghanim's next. Meanwhile, Xiaofeng is going to have to run away once again. Will he pop his BKB once again? No, he's going to run out without using his BKB. Without Shackle Shot being used, Xiaofeng can just sort of stroll on out of there, and considering Windrunner was not near there, or Windrunner was there, she had the gem. But
yeah,
still,
she had the gem. She missed her Shackle. It was on cooldown.
Yeah, so without that, unless you do some major body blocking, then Xiaofeng will be able to escape.
But they're still waiting around. Oh, Force Staff looking for the Shackle. Lothor's Edge back out. Yeah, you can see that even though they're not getting these kills, they're putting a lot of pressure on the Shadow Fiend, so he's got to back out constantly. And the question is, they're farming a lot. I think they were in a point in the game they were ahead, and they farmed away their advantage. That sounds like a very awkward thing to say, but that's exactly what we saw in this game. They were ahead, they farmed, and they weren't ahead anymore because they got ganked repeatedly. And now this Anti-Mage, despite having a very, very slow start, he's already the strongest hero in the game.
Yeah. But still, I think this Nature's Prophet is just doing so much work. He's really held his team together in the mid game, and that's the power of a really strong Nature's Prophet. Furion.
Furion. Just call him Furion.
Yeah, he's picked up an Ogre Axe. He might go for an Aghanim's. He might go for even a BKB himself. I don't think he needs BKB considering he's staying in the background of all these fights. But meanwhile, the Sentinel supports have no items to speak of. Meanwhile, the lowest level is Rubik level 12, and everybody else is above level 16. That is ridiculous farm.
Yep. And ridiculous farm means there is going to be less and less room here for the Sentinel to catch it back up, because Sentinel is putting all their eggs in that Shadow Fiend basket. I mean, some of it goes in Chaos Knight, but he's been dying a lot. Ancient Apparition not level 11 just yet. Shadow Demon not level 11 just yet. You talked about the supports being under farm, under level. And that because of that, they're going to basically contribute nothing in the next upcoming team fight. Here you go, the entire Scourge team smoked up. Tidehunter in front is probably not the way you want to do it. They see Puck, Shackle Shot. That's going to lash. He does phase out. Is he going to blink out? Ghost Scepter, Telekinesis upward. That means he's going to be... Ravage going to be... What?
Ravage used on one hero. Rubik's going to take the fall instead, but now Chaos Knight is going to have to motor on out of there. Gush and another Shackle Shot. That is such a fair spell. Shackle Shot going to hold Chaos Knight in place. Chaos Knight is going to be next one to fall. So Ravage hitting nobody. Because I don't think it even hit the Chaos Knight because he was still at
It got the kill on the
HP.
Puck, I think.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, these Ravages has not been impressive at all. This Tidehunter play has not impressive at all. He gotta keep in mind that he lost a million in the outside of the game, but hey, the team is winning, so it don't matter.
Yeah. Once again, Chaos Knight die as 1-8 and 2. I'm just saying.
I wouldn't call that an initiation though. He's just gonna run it against.
Yeah.
Bull.
His team did not want to back him up, and once again, Shadow Fiend not using his BKB offensively. I mean, to be fair, I don't really know if Sentinel could have come in. I guess they could have tried to bait out the Ravage, but Ravage is used so preemptively that Puck could not get in position to blink Claw, and after that they had to just back out. But still, another 1 in 50 seconds without Ravage, but still, Scourge is just going to farm up, Anti-Fade's going to get more and more farm. Nature's Prophet is going to be swip pushing. And this is the problem of Nature's Prophet Tidehunter, because Nature's Prophet can just swip push, or Fearin, whatever he's called.
Yeah, I mean, now that you talked about the 150-second on cooldown, but Tidehunter says, F that, I pick up Refresher, now I have my ultimate again. Maybe that's why he's using it like he doesn't matter, because he says, I don't care, I got another one. And we're gonna see some double Ravage action very, very soon. Now, to be said, there is 2 BKB up, but also, as a counter statement, 2 Ravage means your entire support lineup's dead. Puck, Ancient Aberration, and Shadow Demon. I don't care how strong that Shadow Fiend is, and I don't care how strong that Chaos Knight is. They're not gonna take 5 heroes, and they're not even that strong. So they're
and also only 1 BKB because Chaos Knight's just been dying.
Have it. Yeah,
he's just been dying. Does he even have a Mithril Hammer? No, he does not. As oh man, I got a feel for this Chaos Knight, as he's just been having all sorts of bad times in Dota, and you never want to have bad time in Dota.
No, you don't want to have bad. When you want to have good time in Dota, play with b-balling.
Play with Hobbs. Hobbs never gets mad. I get mad sometimes.
Hobbs get me bad times. I don't want to play with him.
Shout out to Hobbs. As meanwhile, Roshan has respawned. Sentinel trying to make an aggressive posture, but we'll see if they can try to get some items or try to get in position, because Nature's Prophet is just gonna be split pushing. God damn it, he's fucking Nature's Prophet. Okay.
His name is Nature's Prophet, isn't it?
Well, it's Prophet.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's all good. Meanwhile, we have Shadow Fiend Illusions being used to scout out this Roshan. You can scout it out, but what's that gonna do to you? Well, Anti-Mage now will back off right now. Shadow Fiend is split pushing back in the mid lane, putting some pressure. Eagle Horn is gonna be his item of choice here. Butterfly will be a very, very good item, but by the time that he has Butterfly, imagine that there will be a MKB finish on the Anti-Mage. He is going for a heart right now, though.
To be fair, I've seen games where Shadow Fiend does out-carry harder carries than him. Many times. At least 3 or 4 times. All games that we've casted. Where Shadow Fiend is just out-carried harder carries because he just farms so fast, but considering he's pretty much a tier 4 item behind where he wants to be, because he has even items with the Anti-Mage and he wants to be at least a tier 4 item ahead, he's going to really have to rely on his teammates, and considering that Shadow Fiend's not in position, he's very low HP, and considering Puck is not in position, that's going to be a free Aegis for the Anti-Mage. And with that, I think the Scourge with the Refresh Orb can just take the fight to the Sentinel, and Sentinel can't really do too much.
Yeah, at this point here, Scourge could just march all the way down mid, take down tower, and just go for straight racks. If you are Shadow Fiend, you gotta just go for split push right now, force a couple of TPs, but instead he's gonna be Ancient creeping. He does have a double damage, like this can be the most insane thing possible. He is gonna finally go up on top lane, but he's gonna have to force back to teleport, at least defend his Raxes. Are they gonna push? They gotta push quick. Go, go, go. Shadow Fiend, you can see, again, this is a smart thing to do. Really realize his team can't fight, so he's gonna just split push. Meanwhile, the Scourge is just holding each other's members in the jungle.
Very PG-13. As Shadow Fiend's gonna split, considering his double damage was wearing off, Glyph is popped, and that's gonna be, he did all of 250 damage, but more importantly, he stalled, and that's gonna get Chaos Knight enough farm. And looks like Anti-Mage is gonna be caught out, or Rubik's gonna be caught out of position. They're gonna use the Dream Coil and the Dagon finally being used. First time I've seen the Dagon in this game.
Well, on the top lane here, BKB gets pop here. BKB invis TP, nothing they can do about it except right click's not gonna be enough. Meanwhile, the one Scourge here did die on the mid lane. I felt like that was a huge opportunity lost for the Scourge. They had the stronger lineup. They just kind of waited around for a long time. And here we go. Anti-Mage still looking for more teleport. And BKB from Nature's Prophet. How did he get juked out? I have no idea. Ravage gets used. Hits nothing but creeps. Pretty good Ravage. I mean, pretty bad Ravage. There's a Soul Burn. It's going to get the last hit. Meanwhile, Shadow Fiend comes in right now, doing quite a bit of damage. Puck in the position as well. Nature's Prophet summons the Necro Book and can now focus. Meanwhile, Tyler drops the second Ravage. Nice facing on the Puck. Is going to dodge that one. Everybody's so low. Blinking from Anti-Mage. Wants to get one kill. He gets one. Oh, Anti-Mage is looking for another. Not going to find it, considering that the Invids, the Ultra Edge, doing some work. Anti-Mage is going to get the last hit, or at least going to bring down the tower. Ancient Apparition. Ice Blast flying through, not going to do anything. Anti-Mage just doing so much work. Still has that Aegis. At this point, he's just completely unstoppable. That teamfight went horribly the way it started for the Scourge, but they kind of just, I feel like, bulldozed their way down the mid, and there was very, very little that Sense going to do about it. That Ravage, the 2 Ravage, was so horribly placed, but it don't matter.
As the Refresher Ravage caught 3 arrows, but of course only Anti-Mage is there. He's more interested in being tower. As I don't really think this Tyranitar has really a game plan. He's just like, alright, press V, let's go. As that is the game plan for many Tyranitars, but still. I mean, Nature's Prophet picks up a BKB at the same time that Chaos Knight has picked up a BKB. And Chaos Knight popped a BKB, and obviously could not do anything in that team fight. It was pretty worthless in that regard. Meanwhile, Windrunner going to try to build towards an eventual X, as we're going to try to look at the items. Rubik picks up the Arcane Boots, Anti-Mage finishes the Heart, has 1800 gold in the bank to work with. Tyranitar has another 1600 gold in the bank to work with. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet has 3k, so he can die, buy back, and pick up more items should he choose to do so, as he pretty much has all the utility items that he needs to succeed to go, and I can start picking up some big damage.
Here we go, the entire Sentinel team smoking up here, waiting for the Shadow Fiend. I love when team do something like this. You use the Shadow Fiend bait, and hopefully they gank the Shadow Fiend, and then you could start a counter gank and go straight into a bush. But seems like Scourge not falling for that, at least not right now. Shadow Fiend slowly pushing in, picks up a Mask of Death. It's going to be going for a Helm of Dominator in a sense. And meanwhile, Anti-Mage says, yeah, I don't care about ganking. I'll just
jungle
push.
gank, as they're going to be able to catch off the Rubik at the very least, but Nature's Prophet going to teleport in. No, he's going to cancel it, as Rubik is the first one to fall. Anti-Mage, no, Nature's Prophet did, in fact, teleport in. Puck immediately pops the Ghost Scepter. Looks like they're going to try to pick off the Tyranitar. Chaos Knight going to go all the way and do nothing. No, he's going to be able to kill the Furion at the very least. Colfie and Dagon going to take in. This might be the start of a comeback, but keep in mind, Ravage is cooling down. He will have the double Ravage up soon, and that's going to really slow down the push. But meanwhile, Anti-Mage just is going to hit towers.
Yep. It's like, I don't care. I'm strong enough to take down a tower here. Meanwhile, there is Shadow Demon coming in. He disrupted Anti-Mage, and it's not going to use the Anti-Mage illusions. Oh, it's 3 seconds. No stuns. No stun at all. If they had a stun, the illusion burn might have actually done it. But back in the jungle on the top lane. Blink in here. Shadow Fiend in position. There's a Ravage being used. That's number 1. Does he Ravage number 2? That's a question. Ravage number 2 just on the edge, hitting the Shadow Fiend. Oh, Shadow Fiend pops the Man's Tile. Windrunner not being popped right now. Finally being popped. And looks like Prophet trying to fight BKB, now getting slow. Shadow Fiend just getting kind of, look at the huge crit from the Lotar's edge. Gem's gonna get destroyed here. Shadow Fiend just out carrying everybody by himself. Ty Hunter gonna make it out alive. There is a silence against Puck. Ghost Scepter gets pop as well. Shadow Rage gets stolen here by Shadow Rage, being missed by the Grand Magus. Here we go. The blink in to teleport out. Will he make it out alive? The damage output is so high. He will just barely make it back. But back in the base, Anti-Mage says, alright, nobody defending me. I will just win.
Yeah, I mean, when he used the double Ravage on one hero, you at least started to get the kill. As Shadow Fiend popped that BKB very late, as I think it was probably on cooldown. But Anti-Mage is just like, yo, the point of the game is to take your base, and he's certainly going to do that. And with Nature's Prophet at his side, there's really, unless Shadow Fiend decides to teleport back, but remember, he sold his teleport to pick up that Mask of Death, and that's going to cost his team 2 racks and might even cost him the game.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like you can say, Anti-Mage is playing it very cheap. He put his team in a position where they could actually 5v4 and still come out relatively ahead, where they don't lose their racks. So any time that you could 5v4 without your strongest player, and you could still save your racks, and then your anti-mage is raxing, I think that was a fair use of their resources and a good use of their map mobility on anti-mage. So with 2 racks down, I really don't think Shadow Fiend could come back. You're absolutely right. Shadow Fiend, given the right circumstances, could out-carry heroes like anti-mage who are normally harder carried than him, but not against 2 racks down. That's just too hard.
And
unless they just go for 5 kills in the racks or in the throne right now.
Well, they're gonna try to go towards that at the very least. Does Shadow Fiend have any items shift towards him? Right? Yeah. No, he has 14 gold in the bank, so he's gonna try to buy back. I'd rather they farm a bit until he gets at least 1 more tier 4 item, but it looks like they're just gonna say, screw it, we've been playing with lag. Well, keep in mind other teams have been playing with lag as well, and we're just gonna try to finish it, try to go all out, and try to go for our best shot. But meanwhile, the Furin is just going to be pushing, but double illusion is going to be popped. Will they claim the tower? Anti-mage reality being used on the Manta illusion. Very unfortunate, but it looks like there's going to be a huge amount of damage on the Lunar. Can she buy back? No, anti-mage is going to try to do as much damage as possible, and looks like the Sentinel might have enough momentum to try to get at least the middle racks, but keep in mind their base is being reached all the while. Will Sentinel back up? They've already committed. They're trying to do a huge amount of damage to the Furion, and Shadow Fiend managed to pick up 1 more kill. Anti-mage is godlike. Will he be able to? He's still at healthy HP, and Ravage is going to fly in. Ravage number 2 is going to fly in as well. Should it be required? No, it looks like the Shadow Fiend is going to pop Lothar's edge and escape, and Shadow Fiend is going to have to back up. No, Anti-Mage is still in the midst of everything. He's so much damage being output by the Shadow Fiend, as he has the MKB Puck trying to come in, and then realizes, oh, this might be a bad idea. Aegis is finally used as just a crazy team fight. Sentinel definitely came out ahead, but keep in mind all the while they could not breach the barracks, and all the while their base is getting destroyed.
Oh, Shadow Fiend's going for the kill. He sees 2 very low HP support. The Ghost Scepter gets popped here, but the race is going to bring him down. Meanwhile, Tyler about to die. He's got the Blink Dagger. Here comes Anti-Mage. 1 more hit's going to do it. Anchor Smash. Oh, he's so low. He's so low. The Blink in here. The Lothar's edge. He can pop out for the kill. The Blink out from the TIE Hunter. Whack-a-mole here being played on GEST. Nobody actually dies. But meanwhile, the buildings in the Sentinel base are dying. Again, a team fight that was fought in front of the Scourge base. No building were lost. But they did take the Aegis on the Anti-Mage, and Anti-Mage traps himself in the trees. But at this point, I think that was the only time they could have actually made something go. And now they have lost way too many heroes. It's going to have to take a long time to push out the Creep Equilibrium. Anti-Mage is going to apply even more pressure on the tower up on top now. He had the MKB finishing in the previous team fight, and he's going to have another item in the next team fight.
Yep, Ice Blast going to just be used to clear out those illusions, as Shadow Fiend probably wishing he might have been able to buy Boots Chalice. I mean, he did as much as he could, but still, without, farming enough teammates, Shadow Fiend doesn't have stun, so he can't really hold people in place, and that's costing the Sentinel big time, as Shadow Fiend finally buys into the Boots Chalice. He's going to try to finish a Satanic at the very least before the next team fight, but still, we'll see if Scourge allows it to get to that point. Will they wait for the next Aegis, as we do not, unfortunately, have that Aegis counter like we do in Dota 2. Anti-Mage looks like he's going to play conservatively. He's going to save some money for buyback, as he has a gem now. Meanwhile, Tyler has Blink Dagger as well as a Point Booster. Rubik has just Ghost Scepters. Winner has finished up the Hex. She had that, I think, 5 or 7 minutes ago, something like that. But we'll see if the mid lane push starts coming in once again. Meanwhile, Scourge is just like, alright, we'll just let you stay in your base and get map control.
Yeah, meanwhile, on the top lane here, if you see Shadow Demon walking back in the base with about 50 HP, he did kill the blue minion, and if Prophet was paying attention, that would have been a free kill on the Shadow Demon, but no big deal, no big deal. Shadow Fiend's still looking for more farm. He does have the booty travel you talked about. At this point, he's completely maxed out. All he really is missing is the Satanic, and Satanic would be a huge deal considering that he is doing so much damage. If he's not stunned, he will be right-clicking his way back, and considering that the stuns on the Scourge are actually a bit lacking, especially when those Ravages are not doing too much, he can just kind of take himself back in the game. The next item also to consider is selling your BKB and rebuying a new BKB. It costs 1900 gold to do it, but the benefit you get is absolutely insane. So let's see how it's going to be playing out with the last amount of gold in the remainder of the game. Of course, buyback is also a choice, and perhaps that he is just saving for that.
No, they're just like, screw it, let's go, Leroy Jenkins style, all mid, try to get the throne. Nature's Prophet all the while is split pushing, because Nature's Prophet will do that. But still, Sentinel has enough damage to clear creep waves in about half a second. No ancient apparition is just being left to do that. As will the Furin teleport back to join his team. They're going to try. He's going to ultimate. No, he's just going to stop cancel as he's trolling a bit. As they know this is the last ditch effort. Anti-Age going to teleport in. Ravage being used, catching everybody. Another Ravage being used. Shadow Fiend dies. buys back, but KSI's going to take the fall. The rest of his teammates are just going to stick around in dumbfounded disbelief as Xiaofin's going to teleport back, but still without the start to agent efforts, he's going to die once again. And now they see the fear hitting their racks all the while, and they realize Xiaofin cannot do it alone.
Yeah, all you need is that one Ravage, or two to be exact. You can miss every one of them, but if you hit the last one of the game, then that is going to be it. Shadow Fiend being surrounded by 3 or 4 or 5. Not going to outcarry Anti-Mage, at least not in this game. Nature's Prophet doing so much. He's getting purged up. He's going to try to TP out. He will make it out alive. Nobody dies on this Scourge team. And now the full hurrah counter push coming in around. GG's already called, but for formality, Scourge says, we'll take down base. No big deal.
Yeah, it really is no big deal as Xiaofin died, died back, and died again. And literally the maximum melts in a couple seconds. Puck is going to do immense right-click damage, and then he turns into a chicken. So, what do you make of this game? Where do you think Sentinel went wrong besides, waiting a bit too long? Is that really
that's it? I mean, Shadow Fiend is a hero that can, is fully capable of outcarrying Anti-Mage, but you gotta have your teammates a little bit more farm. I think Chaos Knight got picked off one too many times, and when a TIE Hunter on the enemy team has things like a Blink Dagger, Vanguard, a Refresher, and looks like he's gonna have a Soul Booster soon, something's effed up. So they just waited way too long, and they farmed away their advantage, very ironically.
Keep in mind, Sentinel did do a couple things right. I mean, TIE Hunter helped them out a bit, but TIE Hunter overall, he didn't play good, but he didn't play enough to sort of say that he sucked. But they really did a good job in terms of locking down the Anti-Mage. The only problem was, I think, it was just the Chaos Knight literally accomplishing nothing, and I really do not think Chaos Knight should be sort of this high-tier pick in both the Southeast Asian and even the Chinese scene. I mean, Chinese scene, Chaos Knight has picked a decent amount, but still, I don't think he really wins enough to sort of justify it. But hey, it's not like we're getting too many Chinese replays to sort of see that in action. But still, I think the main problem was Chaos Knight getting picked off too many times. He's 1-13, and he managed to farm up a decent amount, but considering, look at the gold he lost, 3K. That is an easy, at least an easy Heaven's Halberd or an easy Sage and Yasha, and 800 gold in the bank to boot. So yep. I think getting the Chaos Knight killed so many times did end up costing the Sentinel.
I fully agree.
Alright, so thank you all for watching. As any last words from you, Luminous? Check out more Dota 1 commentaries by LD on his channel. He casted a bunch of them because he was the prime cast for the GEST September. I don't know if he'll do it again for GST October, but he got a good reception. But Gods is back, so maybe he'll be a co-caster, maybe not. Check out Screen Guard Guy. He only casts Dota 1 at this point, so really give him support. He's really, really awesome caster. He's pretty entertaining. Mostly does solo cast because his internet is not really conducive for live chatting a bit. Also check out Doc. He's back in the game. He's going to probably cast a couple of games as well. And check out my main man Luminous here, as he will probably cast some games at the very least.
I am the main man.
You are the main man.
No lie about that. Yep.
And once again, thank you all for supporting me so much. So thank you for watching, and have a fantastic day.